Over time, you'll start to see every euro as an opportunity to build your financial future rather than spending it on short-term pleasures. It's like planting a seed and watching it grow into something much bigger over time. You'll realize that even small investments today can lead to significant wealth tomorrow. Are you ready to take that step? Eventually, as your income grows, you might increase your weekly contributions from €100 to €150 or even €200. With more cash flow, you'll have the flexibility to invest more, unlocking even greater possibilities for your financial future. Reaching the €100,000 milestone may feel like the hardest part, but it's also a testament to how far you've come. It turns out that reaching this mark means you're already a third of the way to $1 million. With all the factors we've discussed, you'll get there sooner than you think. So stay patient and stick to your plan. Compound interest rewards those who trust the process and stay committed. Let's take a closer look at how much of this growth comes from your own efforts and how much your investments are working for you. In the first 12 years, aiming for the €100,000 goal, most of your savings come directly from your paycheck, over €60,000 in fact. The other €40,000 is the result of your investments starting to generate returns. At this stage, you're doing the heavy lifting while your investments are still warming up. But what happens when your investments really start to take off? During the next 6 years, on your journey to €200,000, the true power of compound interest begins to show. By the time you reach this milestone, your investments will have earned over €100,000 in interest, while your own contributions will have exceeded €90,000. Amazing, isn't it? It's fascinating to see your money begin to work for you, growing on its own over time. But here's the kicker. Are you ready for it? Even though you've only reached €200,000, you're already halfway to the million. It's like watching your financial garden bloom into something extraordinary right before your eyes. Can you imagine how that feels? Your money starts to grow exponentially, and that's just the beginning. Want to know how it continues? As you enter the second 18-year phase, compound interest truly takes the lead over your personal contributions. At this point, while you've diligently set aside roughly €180,000 from your own pocket, your investments will have grown to over €1 million. This demonstrates the remarkable power of compound interest. Your money isn't just growing, it's multiplying exponentially, far surpassing what you could achieve through contributions alone. It's like a snowball rolling downhill, gaining speed and size with each passing year. Doesn't that sound fantastic? What's truly extraordinary is that once you've reached the million mark, your investments will generate an astonishing €80,000 in interest in just 1 year. Compare that to the time it took you to reach your first €100,000. Now, you're almost achieving the same in just 12 months. And it gets even better. Want to know how? By year 36, you've crossed the million mark. And by year 45, you've reached over €2 million, earning over €160,000 in annual interest. The best part? You're not sacrificing your lifestyle or taking big risks to achieve this. You're simply setting aside €100 every week. That's like skipping one meal out or being a bit more frugal with your car expenses. A small adjustment for such significant financial growth. Isn't that amazing? The S&P 500 typically offers returns of over 10%, but for this example, we're using 8%, roughly the S&P 500's average return after adjusting for inflation. It's important to be realistic with long-term projections, as inflation can erode your gains over time. Note that this example doesn't adjust contributions for inflation, meaning it's €100 per week in the first year and the same €100 per week in year 30. But what does that mean for you personally? We've all heard about the wonders of compound interest, but this example makes it crystal clear. The numbers are on your side, and they work faster than you might think. Achieving €100,000 means you're already a third of the way to $1 million. And it could happen even sooner than you think, thanks to several factors working in your favor. Want to know what those are? It's not just the math that propels €100,000 to $1 million. There are other factors that help accelerate those gains. Once you see your investments take off, it's like a surge of motivation. Watching your money grow on its own is exciting. You might feel motivated to contribute even more when you get a raise or bonus, knowing that every extra euro can grow while you sleep. Can you imagine how that feels? You've probably heard the saying, the first 100,000 euros is the hardest. But did you know that once you've built up an investment portfolio of 100,000 euros, you're actually already a third of the way to reaching the million mark? That's right. Achieving the 100,000 euro milestone is a bigger deal than you might think. Want to know why that is? Stay tuned, because this insight could change your financial future. My name is Chris, and I help people learn more about money, personal finance, and investing. Are you interested in improving your financial future? Then be sure to subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up if it helps you. Ready for the next step? Compound interest was dubbed the eighth wonder of the world by Albert Einstein. Have you ever wondered why? Those who understand its power can become extremely wealthy starting from nothing. Although most of us have heard about compound interest, few truly grasp how powerful it really is. Let's break it down with an example to get a clearer picture. Are you curious about the details? If you invest 100 euros every week with an average return of 8%, it would take about 12 years to reach your first 100,000 euros. Does that sound like a long time? During this phase, you're saving what you can, but not earning much in the way of interest. Sure, you're earning a bit, but it's more like a few euros here and there, nothing life-changing. There's nothing particularly remarkable happening during this period. But what if I told you that this is about to change? Those with patience will be richly rewarded. If you continue investing 100 euros every week, you'll reach the 200,000 euro mark in another 6 years. By then, you'll be sitting at just over 200,000 euros. That's a total of 18 years of commitment. Does that feel like a long time? Remember, it's like climbing a financial mountain, one 100 euro bill at a time. But what happens after that? If you're determined to keep investing your weekly 100 euros, prepare for the long haul. To reach the impressive million mark, it will take another 18 years of